All right. This is my second take trying to make the video. And I'm just the video, as you can see, is somebody. It's called nothing. You are nothing. You hear this bottom feeder calling you. You are nothing. Right. For me, there's been a psyop that makes me feel like this. Not even to make me feel. That I have the psyops of the people involving themselves in what's happening to me is the most degrading things to themselves, because I humiliate them in so many ways. And they use these weak people. I mean, you've seen some of the picture, but those pictures do not. The picture of the perps that you see, those are not the weakest. Some of the weakest people I've seen are these. I don't want to be racist in any ways or use race because it's not racial. People of all races involve themselves in that. But it's kind of like depictive of the kind of falsification these people are. I hear this childlike individual that sounds like a child, but maybe actually an adult. But she tells me, "Oh, you're nothing. You this and that," and these people are using V2K, right? V2K gives you the ability to make somebody hear your voice, and it goes directly to your brain, right? And that's just kind of show the cowardness in the first place. So you do these things in this cowardly way, and that's step one of the level of cowardliness these people are. And then this program torture even children, right? Right. So you understand this is a cowardly life involving a program that tortured children, and this trash, who is contracted, that truly see her and hear her as the bottom feeder that she is, somebody who is contracted by these governmental entities to implement this technology onto civilians, right? Human beings, in order to develop this technology. I truly see her for that. And I know she's just the bottom feeder. I mean, when I say that these people, the fragility of these human beings involved in torturing you is unbelievable. Is something else. I mean, they go to the point where they do the pedophilia type of torture, and they're like, "Oh, it's our pedophilia," right? And because they present themselves as this like progressive, PC, liberal, femme fatalish, that because they do it, it's fierce. Right? And first of all, they do this pedophilia type of torture, which force people to think in these pedophilia ways. But the entities that contract these bottom feeders filled with pedophiles, right? And you can see the fraudulency throughout. And when you hear these people calling you a nothing, knowing that I know what they do to women and children. They torture women. This trash talking to me via V2K is involved in a program that is torturing children. And she wants me to imagine her being in a different program where it's their money and they're the something and I'm the nothing. She's the something in a program that tortured children, even sexually. So of course they have this sense of delusional, but that's what, like, they have to gaslight me, and so I cannot imagine this nobody try to degrade somebody and try to make herself believe that she's the something and the people that she's torturing are the nothings. And it's been humiliating to live that life. Now, me, I expect nothing but the worst. They tell me I'm gonna be numb. They paralyze people. They can mess with your nerves. They can make you feel completely. This is all things others have talked about, and they even come up with their own fantasies. Like, you have a son. He's a boy. So I was like, hey, stop it. They have the ability to create a storyline that is so falsified that you can see reality. They will tell you a story, and you like this delusional. That's why you can call me on something. They were even bringing up, there was a moment they were trying to change into something else. I was intimate with somebody who ended actually being a perp. This person was so overwhelmed and enjoyed herself so much that she started like tearing up. And I asked her, "Are you okay?" It's like, "No, it's." She's like, "I'm okay." She's just, and it feels like it's because she enjoyed herself so much, and it was such a emotional moment, an overwhelming moment that she just brought her to tears. And I was like, "Oh wow, she really felt very good for her to that level." And they'll try to change it in different ways. I'm like, you guys are delusional. But this is the reality of what is happening around me. They create stories and fantasies of all sorts to try to make me subscriptive to this. And they've been making me think, no, you have a son, he's 8 years old. It's like, oh, stop it. Now, stop coming up with your own fantasy. Let's talk about reality. Whatever I'm going to go through is going to be horrible because I'm a target individual. I'm validated that this horrible life that you have imposed on others even consists of women and their children. When I make videos, it's because I have people around me try to create this fantasy, a bubble, in order for me to believe that I'm the nothing and these people are the something. And it's to try to break my ego. No, they're the trash. They're the bottom feeders that could be torturing infants right now. In these cowardly ways too. And they have painted a reality that is so falsified with their own fantasy of what they wish was true. And because, I mean, there's things that are just like there from in my face that I know is the reality, and they try to make me believe there's something else. This is pure gaslighting. So to target individuals, when you hear these bottom feeders that insult you, that degrade you, for me, I've seen some of these people. If you saw who's calling me nothing, I could be starving on the streets, dying, and I'll be more than this person telling me that I'm a nothing. And they use this tonality to try to agitate me, as if that's going to make me think that these people are the something and I'm truly nothing. No, you're just a bottom feeder that work for pedophiles. You know, they can't even speak about Roy Moore still. They're just almost children, if not children, that are just wants to feel special. At least it's a psyop. Of course, I know there's older, more mature individuals that still involve themselves in that, and these people try to it's even more embarrassing for them. They've come up with different storylines. I mean, it's just crazy. And I know it's falsified. It's like you can make the stories the way you want it. They have no shame of how constructive of a story they can create. There's no limit. And it doesn't, even things that I can actually I know it's true. Like I can literally, I know what they're saying is false, but I know the truth. In front of me, they'll try to be like, no, it's not true. And they'll try to gaslight you. That's how, and that's typical gaslighting. I see that for what it is. Gaslighting methods, right? And they try to dehumanize you, emasculate you, and do all that. I was like, listen, they tell me how I'm going to be castrated. It's like, I'd rather get my genital cut in pieces than having to do the things they do. I'd rather lose my eyes than be involved in a program that is out here blinding children and 9-year-old children. And yes, same program they're involved in. I'm talking to people who are some of them sound suicidal. I'm not talking about because they're miserable in the sense of what they're doing to me. That's because they have the imbalances. I'm not talking about strong-minded individuals. And they try to agitate me. I was like, I've seen some of them when I'm listening to a testimonial of a woman being raped every day in this fashion with this remote technology. Them just shaking around because they wanted me to believe their fantasy for them. Let them believe that these people are femme fatale, when in reality they're the one raping and torturing children. And when I mean them as the entities that could in charge of these things, but these people torture children. And when it comes to rapes, go through TIs, go see testimonials that include women. A lot of them will talk about some sexual torture. This person calling me a nothing is involved in a program that does this to women. Do you understand? If somebody ever calls you a nothing and is involved in that in one way or another, trust me, In this case, target individual, you are far from a nothing. But please welcome when somebody like this trash, a perp in this program, calls you a nothing. Accept it, welcome it. Because trust me, you don't want to be the something that she is or that he is. They're projecting reality in so many fashions. Even when they try to dehumanize you, I was like, if I'm a monkey, a dog, or whatever, are you saying that you're a god? You're a weak, coward low life. But I know you're nobody. Now you're gonna see me scream and tortured. Okay, well, I was, as a target individual, I know this is bigger than these bottom feeders, and they've been they've been humiliated because of the psyop they wanted to present. It doesn't fit. The psyop cannot make sense anymore. It can't. You're in a program that has been literally torturing women all around the world, systematically utilizing rape tactics, have done horrible things to children. What do you think? Like that's, and I bring that up over and over and over. With me, they come with stories. Oh no, you have a kid. You have a son. I was like, stop. Somebody's like, no, you have a son. He's 8 years, and they're coming up with it. I have no son. I'll probably never have a child. If I have one day, he's not born yet. But I know what you guys do. Reality, I hear the testimonials of what you guys have done to women and children. And for the person, let me make a name up. For Corny, I'm just saying that name. Please don't say her name. Because